Holy mackerel. I was just walking and, I am full of inspiration this morning. I'd hit a wall on a few things, and I'm going to tell you about that. Inspiration for a new name for a podcast, for the podcast, this podcast, which was Bitch Slap, the Accelerated Path to Peace, and then it was going to be Table Rush, but I have a third idea. So I'm going to tell you all about the third idea and how it materialized and manifested.
You know when someone is selling from stage and at the end the audience gets up and rushes to the back of the room to buy? That's a table rush. My name is Mischa Z, and the Table Rush Talk Show is all about bringing you the tools, strategies, and tactics that you can use to grow your audience and inspire them to buy.
Okay, the third idea. As I've been for the YouTube channel / podcast, wait a minute, it's the podcast and its sister YouTube channel or father YouTube channel. I'm not sure you get what I'm saying here. So I've been working on a name change, rebrand for this podcast and the creation of a sister YouTube channel as I've shifted the emphasis of what I want to talk about. And I was going with Table Rush, which I still like and think is awesome. Having trouble securing that .com. TableRush.com. Maybe someone else can go buy it. I don't know. But maybe there's a reason that I couldn't get that. And so basically, my coach, Vince, who I've interviewed a couple times for this new podcast, rebranded podcast, and sister channel, YouTube channel, and other people in the high-end coaching group that I'm in continually ask me this message. You know, who are you trying to serve? What are you trying to do with this podcast? I talked to Sarah as well. Sarah's another coach. She's the head coach, the coach of coaches in the 2CCX that I'm in. But Sarah was like, hey, you know, you get clarity on the message you want to bring. It might serve me and the audience. What do you want to say? What are you trying to do with this podcast? What's your theme? And because I was struggling with, you know, Table Rush Masterclass, Table Rush Power Hour, things like this. And Vince was like, yeah, this isn't actually a masterclass. You're not getting that in depth and having that much structure and really taking someone through a series of, you know, modules. And I thought that was very insightful. And then it was like Power Hour. And he's like, well, I don't know, you know, that might not be exactly what you're trying to do either. So I've been thinking about it, and you know, is it a show? Is it a, you know, podcast is kind of bland and this and that, and so I went into a pretty, I want to say, let's say, an emotionally dark place for a moment. Like, I'm never going to figure this out. Like, this sucks. I quit. Sometimes I can get into that mode. I quit. Time to pivot and go teach yoga or something. It wasn't quite that extreme, but I'm sure everybody in the entrepreneurial space who's creating new endeavors or well into an endeavor can feel like, I'm done. But there's that saying, don't quit. Don't leave before the miracle happens. And so I've been thinking, what is this? And then I was like, oh, kind of, maybe it's a talk show kind of a thing, but I really want people to be able to pitch their products. Like, I really do. And I was getting some pushback from the coach of coaches. She's like, well, how does that serve your listener? Like, you gotta sort that out. Like, maybe it serves the speaker or the interviewee, but how are you going to put all these pieces together? And I really believe that bringing people on who will pitch their product, who are adept at it, that's a great learning opportunity for people who are wanting to sell their own products via, interviews or sales videos or video sales letters or webinars, heck, even written sales letters. But I'm focusing more on recorded or live. So podcast or YouTube channel stuff, audio and video. And so how am I going to combine that, the pitching, the sales pitch by the interviewee, and then the teaching aspect of it all? So I think I figured it out. And I think if I make it clear that that's what I'm doing with the podcast and sister YouTube channel, then nobody's surprised when it's happening. So I love that. That kind of has settled in. I've been talking to friends about this, sharing my frustrations, my insecurities, and I've just been getting cool feedback, like, don't worry, it'll fall into place, the answers will come, hang in there. And I also had the intuition that continue to take the messy action. Like, if I have to know exactly how it's going to go down, then, I'll never put something out to market. So I like that intuition. It was strong. Like, just keep at it. Keep recording. Keep making content. Keep taking the messy action. It's not like there's a massive audience that I'm throwing into upheaval. Although, depending on when you listen to this episode, hopefully there is a massive audience. I started a business back in the day called Nitro Sales, Nitrosales, Nitro Sales. And it was about lead gen and sales, Nitro Sales. So I was helping people explode their sales. And at the time, I was going through a divorce, and it was getting heavy, and people that were working for me were quitting and going to move to different states, like long-time assistants that I'd had, two of them, Mary and Carrie. And just the coincidences of the collapse of my financial and relationship life was, oh my God, it was, you've heard me talk about this dark time on many episodes. But in the midst of all that was Nitro Sales. And yes, Nitro Sales. I'm gonna save the rest for part 2 and perhaps a part 3. So there's an open loop for you. Jump on the next episode. I'll be talking about Nitro Sales and how this all comes together.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Table Rush Talk Show. For resources to help you sell your stuff, go to belove.media/resources. That's belove.media/resources, and be sure to subscribe, comment, 5-star, and share. Thank you again for listening.